Hello and welcome to the start of the Scarlet Keys campaign for Arkham Horror here on Nelson All Over Cards. I'm really excited. I've heard mixed things about this campaign. I've had it sitting on the shelf behind me for too long, but we're finally getting to start it. So that's what today is going to be. We are going to talk about the deck builds. We're going to start. I heard there's a lot of narrative before we kind of get into it all. So we will do that and then play the first scenario. So I'm pretty excited. I'm really excited about the characters. I know little to nothing about this campaign. I know that there is this map. I don't know if I was supposed to open this, but I did it anyways, just because I can't really contain myself or restrict myself. If something says top secret, I'm opening it. But I do know that it is kind of a world hopping adventure and that it can be fairly branching with different decision points and timelines. So with that being said, I have not set up anything, so there will be a little bit of setup when we do dive into kind of the first scenario, because I don't know what that first scenario looks like or if there is a set first scenario. So we'll see. But let's talk about the deck builds first. Let's talk about the deck builds. I wanted to run a rogue, so I picked rogue, and then I had a poll over on YouTube community tab to talk about or to see who I wanted to pair with the rogue. I am going to be playing two-handed through this campaign. I am not ever kind of looking forward to playing solo again. So I will true solo. So I'm going to be playing two-handed. I'm really excited about both of these characters. The Mystics won out, so I'm going to be playing. I think Mystics won out by 1 vote. So we're going to be playing Jim Culver and Monterey Jack. We are going to call this Culver's Cheese Curds. Or pepper jack cheese and Culver's cheese curds. So everything's cheese related on this stream apparently. But the rogue is a class, the rogue is a class that I've been really interested in ever since kind of learning a little bit more about the game. I did get to play Winfred through the Blob That Ate Everything, and I really liked her play style. This is not that archetype in rogue. We'll talk about what he's doing here in a second. And then we're playing through the Mystic for Jim. There was another, I don't actually remember who the Mystic was, but Monterey is able to take level 0 rogue cards and then level 1 through 5 seeker cards. He's also able to have 5 level 0 seeker cards. So he kind of starts at a rogue base and then builds into a seeker output. And so kind of interesting. The first Mystic I chose did the same thing, but for Guardian, I was like, you know what? Let's not have the same kind of idea where you start and then you go into a different class. So that's why I chose Jim. But I am playing Monterey Jack. Let's talk about his kit. So he likes to move around. He actually, I think, would be pretty interesting to play in Edge of the Earth, where you do have these large maps and want to move a lot. So he's going to be hanging out. He has the ability that at the end of your turn, if you end at least 1 away, D20, let's go, reading. Yeah, everyone's going to come in and then leave and then join back in like 45 minutes when I'm done reading. I looked it up. It's like there's a lot of narrative in here. There's a lot in Edge of the Earth. I'm not 100% sure I'm a fan of that, but we'll see. So Monterey Jack, if you end 1 space away from where he started the turn, you get to either draw a card or get a resource. And if you ended 2 spaces, 2 or more, then you get to draw a card and get a resource. So a lot of resource generation. That's typically, I think, what I will be going with is the resource generation. He doesn't have a super expensive kit, but we'll talk about that here in a second. He's got his trusty bullwhip. This is a fast, and then it's basically a way to fight. So he uses his feet instead of fist. And then if it succeeds, you can exhaust it to either evade or deal +1 damage. So that's his signature card. He's got his weakness in here that if your location can be investigated, you cannot move except by scenario card effects. And then you have to investigate if you succeed. Instead of discovering clues, discard this. So he's all about running and hiding. That's kind of his deck build. That's what he's doing. And then he's also going to be our clue gatherer. So we do have a little bit of fight. We've got backstab and the trusty bullwhip, but outside of that, backstab deals +2 damage and uses feet instead of fight. And this is just kind of to get him out of a sticky situation. But a lot of it is just going to be evading. So we've got sneak by, so you can get 2 resources, slip away. You can add your book to your evasion attempt. If you succeed by 2 or more, then the enemy doesn't ready. He's got a 4 book, so pretty solid. We got pickpocketing. After you evade an enemy, exhaust pickpocketing to draw a card. We've got lone wolf. So when your turn begins, if there are no other investigators at your location, gain a resource. And so the idea is to keep them close but not together. Both of them can kind of handle their own when enemies engage them. And so the idea is to kind of split them up so that Lone Wolf, we're actually running Lone Wolf in Jim's deck as well. And so we can get a good number of resources. Our level 0 cards, we're running 2 copies of Dr. Christopher because Dr. Christopher's OP. We got 2 copies of Eureka. So it's a brain, book, and feet. Again, we're looking, book and feet are kind of what he's looking at. And then if this skill test is successful, the investigator performing the skill test searches the top 3 cards of their deck for a card, draws it, and shuffles their deck. So I went with Eureka over deduction. Deduction gives you a book, and then if you succeed, you get an additional clue. Mainly because we are locked into these level 0 seeker cards, and I wanted to get the level 2 version of deduction. So if we upgraded that deduction, then we lose out on that level 0 slot. And then we've got field work. So because he wants to be moving so much, field work says after you move to a location, if that location has at least 1 clue on it, exhaust field work. You get +2 skill value to the next test you perform here. Got 2 copies of flashlight, emergency cache. We got nimble. For each point this test succeeds by, after it resolves, you get to move. It's our I'm out of here card. So gets him to move, also triggering his ability. Scout ahead, you get to move without triggering any engagements. Think on your feet. Immediately move to a connecting location when someone would spawn. Again, all about mobility, wanting to get him to that next location in order to trigger his ability. And then we've got a couple of skills. And then here we go. Here's the kind of the fun part of the deck. It's embezzled treasure. So embezzled treasure is a quick action to exhaust embezzled treasure, move up to 2 resources from your resource pool to embezzled treasure to a maximum of 10 resources. When you resign the game or the game ends, for every 2 resources on embezzled treasure, an investigator of your choice begins the next scenario with 1 additional resource. So he has a significant amount of resource generation and not a huge, not a really expensive kit. Now we probably will upgrade into a couple more expensive cards, meaning like resource cost to play the cards. But embezzled treasure, we're going to be choosing Jim because Jim actually has a pretty expensive kit, but not necessarily the resources or the resource generations to pay for them quickly. And so this is a way that after this first game, ideally we're going to be able to move this embezzled treasure over to Jim and help kickstart him for future games. Also, it just kind of sounded a little bit fun. I am using, these are Gamegenic matte sleeves. So part of what I'm doing with Arkham is I'm trying out different sleeves. I want to play through a full campaign with the different sleeves just so I can get a feel for them. So these are the Gamegenic matte sleeves. And for Jim, we're using the I keep saying Mayday Parade in my head. Mayday Games premium sleeves. I enjoy, so far, just initial reaction to these Gamegenic sleeves. I like them. They're pretty smooth. Dragon Shield is still, I like them more, but these Gamegenics look nice. Yeah, they are nice, and they're inexpensive, which is nice, which is great. So the Dragon Shields are a little bit more expensive. I wish I had the cost of these on hand, but the one thing I will say about Dragon Shield that I prefer, like with the matte, the Dragon Shield matte only has the matte on the back of the card, and then it's clear here on the front. Hey, Beast No, Arkham, yeah, let's go. Whereas the Gamegenic is matte the entire way around, so it does kind of dilute the art on the card a little bit. It's not anything that makes it impossible to play or anything like that, but it is kind of one of the downsides and one of the things that I think you do pay for with that premium quality for Dragon Shield. The Jim's deck, where we're using the Mayday games, I do not like these sleeves. I will go ahead and say that. I bought these sleeves for Aeon's End. So I traded for Aeon's End and they came with a similar sleeve. So I bought these sleeves and I am not a fan of them. They feel inexpensive, which I mean they are, right? It's about $2 for 50 of them. So they're very inexpensive. But that being said, we'll see how they hold up. I don't think that they will hold up that well, but here we are. I've been so close to buying some Arkham by the same token, and seeing it on your stream is just encouraging for you to do your idea. Yeah, it's good. I have the agenda deck, or the agenda and act deck holder coming. It's on a boat probably somewhere, as well as action trackers. So I'm excited about those too. I used to like Mayday back in the day, then Dragon Shield took all my money. Yeah, I mean, just like holding these two, it is definitely a premium feel. Beast No, milestone complete. You watched 3 consecutive streams this month. Congratulations. You have sparked a watch streak. No idea what that means, but congrats. That's exciting. Dang it. I had this all sorted so I could talk about it. Now I'm sitting here because I just shuffle whenever I'm talking. So here we are. Let's talk about Jim's deck. Dang it. Okay. So Jim is a mystic. He can go level 0 through 5 mystic cards. He also can choose up to 5 cards outside of the mystic class, level 0 to start. So we are going to start. Let's talk about those. So we got 2 copies of Granny. Granny gives you that +1 brain, which mystics love. He does not have that 5 stat in mystic. Hey, Buster, how's it going? And so Granny does help him bump that up to a 5. Also, his ability is treat the modifier on a skull tokens that you reveal as 0. Then anytime you reveal a star token, you can choose to treat it as a skull instead. I don't think it's a great ability, but maybe it's one of those that comes in more handy. I don't know. Dragon Shield is good, and they know it because of money. I love Clear Classic and Clear Matte for Lord of the Rings Heroes. You like Clear Classic more? Interesting. I need to try some of the Clear Classic stuff because I've never tried the non-matte Dragon Shield. So Granny helps you get that. The level 0 Granny is not as good. So when investigator to location would fail a skill test, exhaust Granny. That investigator either fails by either 1 less or 1 more. It's not the best. Because you are still failing. But it's also nice because it's a sanity soak. And Jim has a couple of things that are just going to hurt his sanity. The other, we got 2 tests of wills. Also, I love the survivor class. I think the survivor class has some of the coolest cards. And so my 40% or 80% of my off cards are survivor, I think. Yeah. Because the last one is Lone Wolf. We talked about that. But a test of will is play when investigator at your location draws a non-weakness treachery card. Test brain 3. If you succeed, cancel that card's revelation effect. Incredible ability, especially when you pair it with a mystic who's already looking to bump that brain up. We've got it up to a 5 with Granny, and then we've got the Holy Rosary to bump it up to a 6. So we are looking at bumping that stat up so that we can trigger a test of will frequently. And it's typically always going to be Jim that's canceling this because the idea of the entire synergy between these 2 decks is we're both running Lone Wolf. So we do not want to be at the same location in order to trigger this ability. However, if we have not played Lone Wolf, we'll probably stick together. Beast No, use Clear Classic for Champions Heroes and a card that's double-sided for all. That makes sense. I use the matte for the double-sided. I just put the alter ego stuff on the matte side. But yeah, I'll have to get some of those in. I just kickstarted a brand that people rave about. I don't remember what they're called. Titan Shield? No, that's not it. Maybe it is. I don't know, but I'm just trying to get a lot of the bigger name sleeves. I want to play with a lot of them because I'm doing a video down the road when I do have the experience with all of them to mess with it. So we'll see how it goes. But these are not. I don't think that these Maydays are gonna get great reviews. We got just a couple of We got Guts, Unexpected Courage. Everything is Brain here, so we'll go with those. We've got Emergency Cash to get him those resources. Jim's Trumpet. So this is kind of interesting. Jim's Trumpet doesn't seem that good. So when a skill token is revealed during a skill test, exhaust skills Trumpet, heal one horror from investigator to location or a connecting location. So that helps heal Jax. Ideally, we're a connecting location away. This 6 sanity down here is probably going to be Jax's greatest weakness, especially because he has that one brain. So we'll see. What happened that you ordered one box and 10 were sent? Oh, geez. Nice. Nice. And then we've got his spells. We've got Shriveling that deals damage. We've got Azure Flame that deals damage. These are in here for consistency and just able to get them out onto the table quicker. We've got Ward of Protection. Play when you draw a non-weakness treachery card. Cancel that resolution effect. Take one horror. Since he can heal that horror pretty well, we're not super concerned about that. We've got Alchemical Transmutation, which helps with our money. Just kind of depends on when we draw it, because we are limited to the 2 arcane slots. So if we can draw into Alchemical, use it a couple of times, and then you get to get that money to pay for some other stuff, will be good. Storm of Spirits helps with the fight. We've got 2 copies of Arcane Initiate to go search for them. We've got 1 copy of Clairvoyance. So this is, again, just to try and offset the one-sidedness of this deck. So we have Clairvoyance for investigation, where Jack is going to be doing the majority of that. Jack has a little bit of fight just to help. Jim has a little bit of investigate just to help. Then we have what I'm most excited for. I'm using 2 customizable cards. So the first one is Power Ward. So customizable fast play only during your turn. Attached to a non-elite enemy at your location. If the attached enemy has your location, parlay, give it a command. You can say go, and it moves once in a direction of your choice, or cower, the enemy exhaust. So the way that the customizable cards work is you have these. Let's see if it's. Yeah, so you have these check marks, and you can spend upgrades to check boxes, and based on what boxes you have checked determines additional effects for Power Word. So I'm not going to go through all of them, but just to give an example, Betray. If you check this one box, you add the command Betray. Deal 1 damage to any enemy at the enemy's location with an equal or lower fight value than this enemy. So you can add an option, and then it gets up to, you can include 3 copies of Power Word in your deck. When you give a command using 1 copy, also give that command to each other enemy with 1 of your copies of Power Word attached. So there's just a lot of ways they're customizable. You can change the deck, or change the cards in order to fit the situation of where the campaign is going. And then the other one that we're doing is Living Ink. So Living Ink comes in with 3 charges, takes up a body slot, and it says that at the start of your turn, you get you remove 1 charge from Living Ink, and you get, at the start of the game, you choose a skill. So I chose Brain, which is another way that we're going to bump his brain up so that we can successfully always hit those brain tests, or the will test, and then you get +1 to Brain. Now, the customizable things here is you can play it on a teammate. You can choose not to remove a charge in order to not get the benefit. But the reason that we're running 2 is I did buy Down the Rabbit Hole. So Down the Rabbit Hole is a permanent card that you have to purchase at deck creation. After each scenario of the campaign, reduce the experience cost of the first 2 cards you upgrade before the next scenario by 1. So we can either upgrade any of the spells or anything that we have here for 1 less, or we can get a checkbox for free on each one of our upgradable cards. And so that's pretty cool. However, it does come with the negative impact that you increase the experience cost for each new purchase by 1. And so I thought that this was just kind of a fun way to play the deck and also run with some of these customizable cards. The customizable cards did come in the Scarlet Keys campaign, and so I've been really intrigued by them. I thought that they were a lot of fun. Do you have any of the return to boxes? If so, have you played any of the scenarios? I do have all of the return to, except for Night of the Zealot. That one is near impossible to find if you want to spend less than $200 or so. and I have not played any. They're still in the shrink. I'm gonna do an unboxing at some point, but I just haven't gotten around to it. We do need to find a weakness for each one of these. Let's draw for Jim first. We'll go ahead and look at it just because now that we've shuffled in the class specific weaknesses, I don't want to put a weakness in his deck that we cannot play. And so we'll look at it before that first. And we've got the thing that follows. So this spawns at the location furthest from you. Prey bearer only. Hunter, when the thing that follows would be defeated, instead shuffle it into the bearer's deck. That's annoying. That's annoying. It's a 3/2/3. Kind of pretty funny actually. But alrighty. So the thing that follows is our weakness there. That's a solid get. Oh yeah. You got Return to Night as Zealot for about 20. I mean, that's incredible. That's an amazing find. Yeah, no, I went ahead and just bought all the other Return 2s, not expecting to play them anytime soon, but just because of what has happened to the supply of Night of Zealot, I wanted to go ahead and just get as many as I could, just so I could have them ready to go. But $24 is incredible. I want it. Okay, and then for Pepperjack, we've got Ecto. This actually does not work because it's a Seeker class, or yeah, Mystic class only. So this is exactly what I was trying to avoid by looking at these first. What I used to do is I like to look at or not look at the weakness before. And so Pepperjack has got Chronophobia. At the end of your turn, take 1 direct horror, discard Chronophobia. Oh my goodness, that's pretty rough, especially because we only have that one or the 6 horror. Jim's Trumpet can help heal it a little bit, but then we are relying on drawing into the skulls. So we'll see. But they didn't have much of any of the LCGs, that they had a few of the Return to boxes. You also grabbed Return to Dunwich for about 30. If I see another Night of Zealot, I'll grab it. Yeah, I would love that. Should I sell it for a bunch of Chris 20s? Okay. So 1 direct horror, 2 actions to get rid of it. At least it doesn't. It's not horrible, right? We could get rid of it easily. What we need to be careful with is at the end of your turn, take 1 direct horror. I don't actually know. I don't know what the priority is. So if someone in the chat knows the priority, so if I draw this using Jack's ability, does it trigger that turn? So if it comes in, this is at the end of your turn, this is also at the end of your turn. So I'm not quite sure what the priority is. My guess is Grim Rule is that I draw it, I reveal it, then it's still at the end of my turn. I would take that damage. I'm not 100% sure, but that could be a little scary. Timing. Alrighty, Scarlet Keys. Let's go. So there are a couple new card types, which are these keys. I've read the mechanics behind them, but I have no idea what they are. But it sounds like there's like good versions and bad versions, and you shift based on what actions you can take. Looks pretty interesting. We'll see. They get attached to different characters, and then you can activate them or not activate them. And then there's conceal cards. Concealed, I think, sounds like a mechanic that will be really interesting when a enemy with concealed comes into play. You take like these mini cards, and there are decoys, and so you have to go find the conceal card. And so like these decoys, you shuffle X number of decoys, where X is the conceal value of that enemy, together, and you place them around on your on different locations, and you have to go try and find them. It sounds like a mechanic that would be pretty cool. However, it sounds like a mechanic that could become frustrating. So I'm okay. Conceal was the best part of this cycle, in your opinion? Cool. Okay. Well, that's good to hear, because it sounds like a really interesting mechanic. And so I was just like, if it comes in with Conceal 5, is it going to be like one of these, what was that Dunwich scenario where I'm just running around trying to find stuff? Yep, but Conceal, Alert Patrol, we are playing on Standard, so I went ahead and got our Standard bag all set up here. I threw 7 extra skulls in here just to trigger Jim's ability. No, I'm just kidding. But I don't know. So I guess like people in the chat or people in comments, if you're watching after the fact, what are your thoughts on Jim? I He was one of those that does not seem very powerful to me, but I could be very wrong. I mean, it is, you're reducing, there are two skulls in there, so you're reducing the amount of negative impact by a pretty significant margin, right? So you got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Oops, plus one. 16 cards in there. So 2 out of the 16 is uh what, 15%? So 15% better bag for your pulls. I don't know. Kind of interesting. But he was also just someone that was mystic. And I was like, I'll give him a try. I'll give him a shot. Let's see what happens. All right, but Jim's deck. Put it all the way over there for some reason. Okay. Okay. Prologue, file 5A, Riddles and Rain. I'm going to drink before I do this because I feel like I'm about to be reading a lot. Also, D20 in the chat. Card holders from D20. That's what I'm going to be using to hold all the cards today. Intro 1. I assume I'm reading Intro 1. Okay. The dark stifles. It moves like a living creature, constricts the air as if you were inside of a shapeless cocoon. A figment of your anxious and overactive imagination, you hope, but everything about this meeting puts your nerves on edge. You almost didn't accept the mysterious invitation, but recent events have forced your hand. It has been several months since the disappearances began, and all your leads in Arkham have dried up. It started in the winter of 1924 with several vehicles in Southside, 2 Studebakers, a Cadillac, and a Rolls Royce. Nice. All of them top of the line. One moment they were there, next, nothing, save for a single deflated wheel. The police believe it to be the work of bootleggers looking for more vehicles to add to their routes, but the cars were too nice, would draw too much attention. Perhaps they were taken down to Boston or New York and flipped for a pretty penny. And that's just what you figured happened until the disappearances continued. Next to go was a street lamp outside the going from stealing cars to street lamps. Next to go was a street lamp outside the Ward Theater in downtown. Then 2 pets, a dog and that's sad. A dog and a cat whisked away almost simultaneously, right from under their owners' noses, not 2 doors down from another. You learn the news when you saw the missing posters plastered all over College Street. On a whim, you interviewed the owners. No sign of foul play, and it was unlikely for them to have run away. Something stank about all of it. Then the people started to disappear. A child from Easttown, a student at Miskatonic University, the chief of Arkham's fire department, and as the police closed each case with no clues or suspects, a curious thing began to happen. One by one, as time marched on, the things that went missing vanished not only from Arkham, but from memory. The owners of those vehicles suddenly claimed to never have owned them. The pets, the people, all of them were wiped from memories of every single person in town. Everyone but you. You and you alone remembered. Perhaps it was simply the way of things. Humans are fickle and forgetful by nature, but it could be so simple that it was just too strange. Coincidental? That's when the letters arrived. They look solid. What a quality woodworker he had, right? If only he played LCGs, the way he crafts with wood. Yeah, terrible LCG player. Honestly, whoever notices a street lamp missing, where they're just times much simpler back in that day, that's also true, I guess. But also, if you're going down and like the street lamps at night, I think you would notice it, right? Because you would see, and they're consistent, and then you just have a huge gap. Maybe, I don't know. Also, I feel like I only saw one of your Scarlet keys on YouTube. Did you finish the campaign or did I miss it? I did a rush aggression. It was not the right strategy. I also missed a giant roll which changed the game. Uh-oh. If I start to miss that roll, yell at me, D20. So this is the letter. Greetings. I hope this letter finds you well. You do not know me, but I know you. I cannot tell you much through paper correspondence as it may be intercepted. Suffice it to say that I know of the matters that you are looking into, and I also know that you believe yourself to be alone in your investigation. The truth is that you are not alone. Such events are not unique to your city of Arkham. What you have observed is happening in major cities all over the world. I am one of those like you who seeks the truth, who remembers. There is another related matter which I must bring to your attention. I need your help, and you need mine. Enclosed is a ticket to a show at the Riverview Theater. If you wish to know more, please meet me there and we can speak further. Come alone in truth. Lee Flint. The ticket in the envelope was indeed for a private showing at Arkham's new movie palace in downtown. With no other leads and no reason to avoid going, you have decided to accept the mysterious invitation. So here's our first decision point. If there's only one investigator in the game, actually, it's not a decision point. If there's more than one investigators in the game, the lead investigator must decide to choose one. Go alone as requested or go with backup. I'm going to go with backup. We're going to go with backup. So we go to intro 4. Sounds like Star-Lord has entered the Scarlet Keys campaign, right? Just as you are beginning to suspect that you have been played, you see a shadow approaching from the aisle. The figure spots you at once, sliding into the seat in front of your party. He wears wide horn-rimmed glasses and a high-collar jacket over a silk vest. His brown hair is cut short and parted to one side, and he sports a handsome, neatly trimmed beard. To your relief, no other figures emerge from the shadows. Also, just for gameplay perspective, or gameplay mechanics, we're going to choose Monterey Jack to be our lead investigator. I thought I told you to come alone, the man in front of you speaks without turning, letting his voice carry over the silent images on the screen. The hard edge in his voice suggests that he is not happy with your choice, but after a moment he relents. I get it. You are prudent not to trust me. You should trust no one under the circumstances, myself included. You ask if you are speaking to Lee Flint, earning a slight nod from the man. Indeed, he says. Inspector Lee Flint with the International Criminal Police Commission. And I'm sure you have great many questions, but we are unfortunately short on time. Proceed to intro 5. Flint produces a file fat with documentation. This is a lot of reading. Flint produces a file with documentation and slides it between the two seat cushions in front of you. Inside is a wealth of information regarding cases similar to the ones you have been investigating. Photos of vehicles, factory machines, and public figures, all missing, all forgotten. And just as Flint's letter promised, the file includes reports from all over the world. London, Shanghai, Bruges, Rio de Janeiro, Cairo. The list goes on and on. There's more, he says after giving you time to read. Flip to the end. You do, and what greets you there are two photographs clipped together. The first is a street in London, distorted by some interference. A light shines above the street corner, and around it the picture appears to be pinched, like a miniature vortex is pulling towards it. The other is a photograph of a man on the other side of that same street corner, ducking into shadows. He wears a tailor-grade suit and a wide-brimmed hat that obscures his face. The only discernible details that you can make out from the photo is a man's distinctive red gloves. The Red Glove Man. Also, you're not allowed to play with the Red Glove Man in this campaign. Rare as it is for a photograph to have color, you wonder if the long exposure time is what led to the strange blurring effect. This was taken by my partner several days ago, just before he too vanished. Whatever is going on, be sure that the man with the red gloves is somehow involved. Getting to the point, you ask Inspector Flint what exactly he wants from you, to work together, share what we know. Sparingly few seem to know the truth. You agree. If what the man says is true, and the events like this are all happening around the world, getting to the bottom of it will require more than just you. To that end, I would ask that you come to London with me. That man with the red gloves has been sighted in the area, and he's not alone. I would bet good money that he knows something about where my partner is. Arrangements have already been made. There are steamship tickets in that file. The ship departs from Boston in a few days. Investigators must decide to take his offer or go to London on your own terms. So we can skip to intro 6 or go to intro 7. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope. Your brother's gamer tab is Snoby1, which is also my new work username. Nice. Only 30 more intros. There's a setup right here. I'm hoping that the setup is close. We're gonna take his offer. Why not, right? You accept the file and tell Inspector Flint that you will report to him with anything you find. With haste, you get your affairs in order and take the very next train to Boston. Flint has already given you more evidence to advance your case than a month of investigation in Arkham. If working together with the ICPC will help you solve this mystery, you have no qualms about putting your trust in him. You make it to London with time to spare and immediately set to work. Trust is born of naivete. Remove 1 heart and add 1 tablet. This token can be later removed through an act of secrecy. Did I? Oh, there it is. What was I thinking putting these away? Read the rules for tracking time on the next column. Mark 1 time in your campaign log, then proceed to setup. So tracking time. Throughout this campaign, tracking the passage of time is of crucial importance. As time marches on, these paranormal events will grow more and more dangerous, and the machinations beyond your understanding will progress. Additionally, some opportunities may only be open to you during certain windows of time. Oh, that's kind of cool. Time passed, etc., etc. So we have 1 time. We'll figure out how to track that. I'm gonna make a campaign log similar to what Meg and I had for Dunwich, and so I just haven't made that yet because it's scenario 1. So after today, we'll go ahead and or after today's scenario, we'll go ahead and set that all up with the time passes and keep time there. Oh, those are nice. I've seen them before, but I'm too poor for that upgrade. I did the D20 thing, and you have mine in a coin collector case. It works pretty well. Yeah. These were a splurge. These were not inexpensive, but I really like these. I hated the cardboard, and these are very nice. Time is huge in the game, and part of the thing I missed is related to time. So make sure you get all the time rules. Cool. Then proceed to setup. Hey! Okay, we need core set stuff, so that's off screen. Gather all the cards from the following encounter sets. Riddles and Rain. Okay. Riddles and Rain. We're also going to get to sleeve some stuff. That is the Raven. And then we've got all of this good stuff. I forgot to order my... Where'd you get the top... Yeah, the top secret booklet is like a map. So it comes in this campaign. The... What was I about to say? I was about to say something. Oh. Okay, so we need to find all of these. We do need this guy. We need lamppost. We don't need this. Oh yeah, no, I forgot to order my Tesseract dividers. So those are also coming in the mail, but do not have them yet, so doing the old-fashioned just thumbing through all of them. Don't need this. This is my least favorite part about Arkham, is finding the encounter sets. I wish that there, I don't know, like I would much rather look for the words rather than the symbols, and the symbols for some reason just don't, my brain doesn't love looking at the symbols. That looks insane. Haha, there's one. Okay, do we need... Nope. We need a couple from the core set as well. Because all of these symbols start to look the same to me after a while. Like, I don't know. Those two symbols just look too similar when I'm just doing a cursory glance. I'm pumped. I played Arkham. I'm doing a campaign, a Dunwich run with some friends. We just finished up the Miskatonic Museum last night. It's just a fun game. And that one I'm playing Ursula Downs, and she is absurdly good. Actually, I think that's everything from this set. Yeah. There's so many little squiggly line symbols that can... Yeah, right? I just like... I don't know. I'm tired of looking at squigglies. Okay, so I need Chilling Cold, Locked Doors, Midnight Mask. Okay, I'll be right back. The Midnight Mask is literally just scenario 2 of the core set. So, when gathering the Midnight Mask, encounter set, only gather the 5 treachery cards. Okay, well that makes more sense. Hunting Shadow. Cool, there we go. That's interesting. I think there was one in maybe Edge that did that. The art in this game is absolutely phenomenal. Just every time I look at new and different cards, they just did such a good job. I'm ready to play. Cool. Set the Crimson Conspiracy and Outsider encounter sets aside out of play. So the Crimson Conspiracy is... That's the other thing. It's like... Okay, so Riddles and Rain. Crimson Conspiracy is... I think this one? Like, there's... They don't, like, tell you what it is. That's honestly why I like the divider so much. Because it tells you the name with the symbol. So, Crimson and Outsiders. Dark Veiling Outsiders. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So these. The Outsiders. Okay. Put Rainy Street London into play. Rainy London streets, right there in the middle. Let's go. Each investigator begins play at the rainy London streets. Set each other location outside out of play. There's a red glove man, so I assume we shuffle him, and it doesn't tell us to not. Oh, just kidding. Now it tells us to set those outside. So we're setting up there. Gather each mini card in each of the following mini cards: the Red Glove Man, the Agents A, B, and C, and set them outside out of play. Shuffle the remaining encounter cards to build the encounter deck. You are now ready to begin. Love that. A, B, and C. There we go. I'm starting to like Arkham more, which is bad for the wallet. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I agree. There are so many little yeah. Not better art than Lord of the Rings, though. It's probably the second best on the LCG list. Champions is not great, although it's based on comic books, so it makes sense. Yeah. I also really thought about using return 2 boxes for storage since they come with their own dividers, but I don't know the whole game will fit in those boxes. I didn't realize they came with their own dividers. That's pretty cool. Okay, so we got agenda. We got a lot of agendas here. And a lot of acts. And all of this gets shuffled together to form a very small encounter deck. Okay. I feel like I'm missing stuff. But maybe not. Okay, we're ready to begin. Let's do it. Alrighty. So our agenda 1A, arriving in London, you patiently await your contact, but none arrives. Inspector Flint or one of his proxies was supposed to meet you at a quiet treehouse tucked away in a narrow storefront just outside Trafalgar Square. Wondering what could have gone wrong and suspecting the worth, you set off to investigate. So when the agenda advances, move all doom to the next agenda. Oh, that's bad. Clue. That's weird. I don't know why they would do it like that. Maybe. Okay, we'll see. You draw your umbrella closer, using it to obscure your identity. Each person you pass on the street could be your contact or be out to get you. As a group, spin the requisite number of clues to advance before the agenda advances. Okay. The rainy London streets comes in and starts with 4 clues, which is exactly what we need. And a Shroud of 1. Okay. Let's go ahead and shuffle up and see what we got. Cool. So, maybe Jim can help with searching with a book of 3. So book to 3, 1. I probably do want to. It tells me to do it before the agenda advances. So let's try to do it before the agenda advances. Let's see. Gems all shuffled up. Yeah, the Maydays are too slick. I think that's kind of what it comes down to. They come with horizontal dividers for the return to scenarios in the original box as well. That's awesome. And I heard that they haven't finished, or not every campaign has a return to, like definitely not the new ones, but I think Dream Eaters doesn't have one either. Like there's only 5 return to. So I wonder if they're ever doing more of those. Okay, let's do our opening hand. We'll do our lead investigator, Jack, first. We got Sneak By, Eureka, Emergency Cash, Unexpected Courage, and Perception. Okay, so let's go ahead and toss Sneak By. I like Eureka. I like Perception. Unexpected Courage is always nice. This is great because we have a pretty easy investigate. So Eureka is basically a card draw. It's a different card. Perception is also a card draw in our hand. Let's go ahead and drop Unexpected Courage just so we can hopefully get a building. Got Backstab and Chronophobia. Goes, okay, Embezzle Treasure. Okay, so we can start embezzling some stuff with Jack. Especially since we have Emergency Cash. Because we can only move 2 resources per turn. Embezzle Treasure. It'll be interesting. Yeah, it looks like the last return to is Circle Undone. I hope they continue it, but who knows. Have you tried any of the scenarios? The return to stuff? Okay, let's see what Jim's got. Jim, 2, 4, 5. Okay, we've got the thing that follows, so we'll set that aside. We got Unexpected Courage, Emergency, Alchemical Transmutation, Azure Flame, and Power Word. Honestly, this is a pretty solid start for us. We got Alchemical Transmutation, which is what we want to start with because we can use this to help just get money. Since we have both Emergency Cash and Alchemical Transmutation, I'm probably going to mulligan the Emergency Cash just because we have ways to get money here. Power Word is nice. We're going to keep that around. Here are actually my permanents. We're going to keep those out. We're going to set those aside. Takes up too much room. We got Unexpected Courage. Let's go ahead and just draw into 1. We got Granny. Okay, I like it. Pretty good opening hands for both of us. Pretty happy with both of those. Alchemical is a nice way to just start getting built out. Azure is going to be nice to kill. Blood makes the grass grow. Let's go. Not yet. You just got them yesterday, and you're in the middle of a Dunwich campaign that only gets played on lunch at work, so it'll probably be a while. Nice. D20, you've played the return to, right? I don't know if you're still around, but... Ugh. So yeah, this is how the cards sit in there, so I can actually see what's going on. I'm actually going to swap these because I have it backwards because it's nice. This is a little bit higher, so you can have 2 tiers, and when they're sitting in here, this is going to be a little hard to see, I think, on stream. But once it's a little bit lower, so you can still see the one behind it, which is a really nice feature. Oh, I forgot that my fan blows these all over the place. Do you have an investigator board for each class? Yeah, I do, because I'm extra like that. And then we got Jax over here. And then I have a black one for the non-class. Okay, so we're just starting with our investigation phase. And so with that, I guess... So we have 3 actions to get, or we have 12 actions to get 4 clues. So we do have a little bit of time to build. I'm guessing, wait till he gets all the Marvel boards too. For some reason, I'm more likely to buy the class versus a specific hero. I don't know why. So we can spend these clues. And so first, let's go ahead and have Jack just kind of investigate a little bit. Let's go Eureka here. So we're investigating 5 to 1. Eureka is really just here so that we can get a new card. 5 to 1. We've got a skull, -1, -3 instead if you have 2 or more clues. So -1. Dang it, Jim could have drawn the skull. So we're good. We do succeed. We get one of these clues. And then Eureka states that if the skill test is successful, the investigator performing the skill test searches the top 3. Got another backstab. Got a, hey, there's a trusty bullwhip and a flashlight. Let's take the bullwhip. And shuffles their deck. So you don't lose the card, which is nice. I do have your X-Men board, but he can't take it out. D20. Have you played any of the return 2 boxes? The Gamegenics are a little slick. They're a little slick, which is something that the Dragon Shield have going for it. Let's go ahead and spend 2 resources for a fast action to play our trusty bullwhip. Big fan of that. Second action, let's yeah, I think I don't know if I said it, but I ordered action trackers, which is gonna be fun. Jack is going to investigate with 4 to 1. -1, we're good. We got a second clue. Third action. Let's go ahead and just grab a clue. Third action, let's grab a clue. So 4, -2, we're good. We got another clue. So we're at 3 out of 4. That gives Jim some time to build. Jim's a little bit more apt to build out, but and then rather than Jack. Night of the Zealot and Dunwich, which have the rest, just haven't done them yet. The action trackers are so nice. Good. 100% for Zealot, mostly for Dunwich, but I think that's because I didn't play enough Dunwich to get the full value from it. Got it. Cool. Okay, so on Jim's turn, we're going to spend 1 for Alchemical Transmutation. This comes in with 3 different charges. We can exhaust Alchemical Transmutation, spend 1 charge, test Brain 1. For each point you succeed by, gain a resource. If a bad symbol is revealed during the test, take 1 damage. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. So we'll use a... Oh, actually, you know what? First, we're going to spend 4 for a Granny. We get +1 Brain. Now we will spend this. We're testing 5 to 1. Hopefully we can do that. So we played. We're testing here. So 5 to 1. We've got a book -1. There's a concealed mini card at your location. There's not. So we test 5 to 1. That goes down to 4 to 1 for each point you succeed by, which is 3 for a maximum of 3. Get 3 money. So we got 3 money back. Sweet. No enemies. So during our refresh phase, we are going to grab some money and draw some cards. Jack has got Sneak By. Alrighty. I may be way overcosted. Well, actually, I don't know. We'll see. And then Jim's got a Test of Will. Nice. Top of the round, let's add a Doom here. Jack's card. Test Brain 3. For each point you fail by, you must either take 1 horror or place 1 of your clues on your location. Brain 3 is not Jack's strong suit here. I'm wondering if we Test of Will this. Because I don't want to take the horror. And do we have the time? We would probably fail by 3. So we lose all 3 of our clues. I don't know if we would have the time to get the clues back. Jim actually doesn't have a horrible time investigating. He's at a 3. This is effectively lose 3 actions. So let's go ahead and spend 1. Let's Test of Will. So we're testing 5 to 3. We got a -2. We pass, so we cancel the card's revelation effect. You guys are the worst. I was always a very expensive buy the same token cart right now, and you're making me want to. You definitely should, especially because like if you're gonna order, you might as well get the free shipping, right? Jim's card, Peril. You must either choose to spin 1 clue or take 2 damage. We cannot spin a clue, so 2 damage it is. Okay, so we're back. We've got Jack. Let's go ahead and just search 5 to 1 for Jack. Since this is a spend, we're not forced to do it. Let's just go ahead and make sure that we can get that clue before we do anything else. It's not good for my wallet. I had a few things out, including the villain stands for... Oh, villain stand is sick. You should definitely get it. Yeah, let's do it. So let's go 5 to 1. We got a +1. We are good. We got 1 clue here. So we can spin the 4 clues. Let's do it. Let's spin 4 clues. And advance. Just because I'm not sure what options are going to be presented to us, and I'd rather have the option to do something with my clues, or with my other 2 actions. So we'll see. You spot the figure on the other side of the street just as a bright red bus approaches. You are certain whoever was there was staring directly at you. The bus cuts a swath through the foggy street, and when it passes, the figure is gone. Perhaps it's just your paranoia at work, but it cannot be a coincidence. It must either have been your contact or one of their foes, perhaps even the reason they are missing. Sealing yourself for any possibility, you set off and chase. Put the set aside Kinsworth Garden, Westminster Abbey, and Big Ben location into play. So Big Ben, Westminster Abbey, and Kinsworth Gardens. I assume these are all connected to my rainy London streets. Big Ben and Westminster Abbey are connected. These are connected. Okay. Hey, Maddie, how's it going? Did not miss much. The deck building explanation, which I know that you saw on Discord, and then about 4 pages of reading, and now we're here. We're basically, what's happening is we're at London. Things are disappearing. Nobody remembers whatever is disappearing, but we do. We were contacted by a international police officer who told us to come to London to help him out, and now he's not here. And so now we're standing in the rain. The first scenario takes place in the city where I'm at. It's actually not raining right now. Nice. Nice. The lead investigator draws the set aside Red Glove Man enemy and resolves its concealed keyword. Spawn the Red Glove Man in the shadows, take his mini card, and one per investigator decoy, shuffle them face down and put them into play, divided evenly among the locations nearest to the lead investigator. So we've got Red Glove Man. Conceal 1 per investigator. So we're going to grab 2 decoys. And the way that we find, or we do the conceal card, is we can either fight or evade or investigate the location where the concealed cards are. And the value to hit is the shroud. So we will shuffle these up. And closest to the lead investigator. So we're going to go these 3 right here, I guess. Advance the agenda directly to 2A. Do not resolve agenda 1B. Advance the agenda. Okay. I was like, this is 1. Okay, so we got conceal, conceal, conceal. Okay. When this agenda advances, move all doom on it. So the doom is going to go right there. Your mind must be playing tricks on you. Misshapen figures dance through the dense London fog wherever the rain lets up. Are these distortions like the one in the photograph Inspector Flint showed you, or is it your query hiding in the mist and gloom? When this agenda advances, move all doom on it to the next agenda. I don't like that mechanic. Okay. So now we've got these conceal cards. So we probably want to... I mean, Yeah, we have to look for him eventually. And then this is the game is afoot. You chase the shadows shrouded by night. It might as well be a needle in a haystack, but you still search, looking for any clue that may lead you to the truth. Chase down the mysterious figure before the agenda advances. If an investigator engages the red gloved man, advance. Hey, Lucas, how's it going? Can't wait for this campaign to be released here in Brazil. Nice. Do you know when is that? When is that supposed to be? This is our shroud. So the way that this works is he is kind of out. He could be the closest enemy as long as there are no other enemies. There's a couple other shroud rules that we would look up. How far are you into this scenario? This is our second turn. Yeah, so I have taken 7 total actions. Okay, so conceal card. Let's go ahead and try and evade the conceal card with Jack. Actually, you know what? Yeah, let's go ahead and evade the conceal card with Jack. So Shroud is 1, so we need to evade for 5, or 5 to 1. So let's go ahead and see what's going on there. We've got a -3, so we are good. Conceal card. This is a decoy, so the red glove man is not there. This is pretty cool. I do like this mechanic. Next semester, the company here only released the investigator box. Gotcha. Cool. Nice. And then for our third action, so we investigated, we evaded, and then we are going to, let's go to Big Ben. Big Ben sounds fun. At the end of my turn, I can choose, since I am 1 location away, I can choose to either draw a card or take a money. And so we're going to take a money. And also Maddie, this question came up. So the weakness that I drew for Jack is at the end of your turn, take a damage. If I use this end of turn ability and I draw into that weakness, does that weakness trigger that turn? Sorry, Jack, the red glove man is in another castle. He is. Okay, so let's figure out what Jim's gonna do over here. So Jim is going to, he has got no reason to stay in the rainy London. Oh wait, hold on. Let's reveal Big Ben. Choose a concealed mini card at Big Ben or a connecting location and test feat 2. If you succeed, look at the reveal card of that concealed mini card without exposing it. If you fail, take 1 horror, limit once per turn. Comes in with 2 and a victory point. Feat 3 is, you know what? Let's do it. Let's do the feat 3, because it's a quick action. So feat 3, the horror. Who needs sanity? You think you take the damage? It doesn't proc during the upkeep, which is when you usually draw it. Yeah. Okay, that's what I assumed, especially Grim rule wise, but I just wanted to confirm. So 5 to 2. -3, we are good. We're going to peek at this concealed card over here. This is the decoy, so we know that the red glove man is here. Yep, so red glove man is here. What do we want to do with that information? No idea. No clue. So I know that we probably want to move along. I'm curious if we want to figure out if we want to grab the red glove man right now. I need to build a little bit before we do that. I want to grab Azure Flame, which can deal the damage. Or do I want to investigate to get the victory point? I don't know. Timing is weird here. Timing can be crazy. He is an elite, so we cannot attach Power Word to it. Power Word only is a non-elite enemy. So let's use Jim to spend 3 to play Azure Flame. Oops, sorry about that. Comes in with 4 charges. Since we know that it's here, let's spend our second action to come over here. And then our last action, let's go ahead and grab a resource. Yeah, because he's not going to be able to fight or evade a 4 here. That's a pretty high shroud. Okay. So no enemies. that do anything. I'm pretty sure the concealed enemies don't do anything during the upkeep phase. He doesn't even have Hunter, so we're fine. So he's upkeep. So we're gonna take a money. So Jack's up to 6. Need to throw embezzled treasure down there at some point. Take a money here. Jack is gonna get a Dr. Christopher. Big pull for us. And then Jim's gonna get an Arkham Initiate. Also a pretty big pull. And we're at the top of the round. So we'll place 1 here. Jack's got a Peril. Hunting Shadow. You must either choose to spend 1 clue or take 2 damage. Again, no clues, so 2 damage. And Jim has got a locked door. Attached to the location with the most clues and without a locked door attached. This attached location cannot be investigated. Test feet 4 to break down the door, or feet 4 to pick the lock. Okay. I'm gonna go for the red glove man. Okay, also one thing I wanted to check about the conceal card. When I investigate, if I successfully investigate and get a clue, does it reveal the conceal card? Or does it or by successfully investigating its location? So concealed mini cards are not enemies and cannot be engaged like enemies. However, any investigator at the same location as a concealed mini card may attempt to expose it by successfully attacking it or evading it as if it were an engaged enemy, or by successfully investigating its location. The difficulty to attack or evade. So I do think that if I successfully investigate, I get the clue, it reveals the concealed card. I'm not choosing to investigate the location for the concealed card. It sounds like if I successfully investigate and get the clue, then it reveals the concealed card. So with that being said, let's try and investigate it. Right? I think that may be our best bet. So let's go. Let's spend 4 of our 6 to drop Dr. Christopher. We get a book. Now we're gonna investigate the 4. We have 5. We're gonna throw a perception on it to make it a 7. 7 to 4. We got a tablet. There's a concealed mini card at your location. Reveal another chaos token. So it's -1 and -3. So -4, 7. We don't make it. Oh, that's a bummer. Hey, 17 sickles. Oh, Dr. Christopher. Yes. That's sad. Okay, so we went 7 to 4. Revealed -4. Okay, well, interesting. I was kind of hoping that we got that. Oh wait, oh shoot, we can't even investigate this. Because of the locked door. The locked door. Okay, well, I guess okay. We're going to try and pick the lock on the locked door. Let's get our perception back. Pick the lock. So we got 5 to 4. Let's unexpected courage. Let's commit an unexpected courage over here. So we're gonna go 7 to 4 to try and pick that lock. It's a skull. -1. So we are good. We are successful in picking the lock. Now we have one more action, which can be to investigate. We will try that again. Feels a little cheaty, but that's fine. So we're at 7 to 4. Let's see what we got. Well, no, let's just take the same result. Let's just take the same result. So we failed, and we don't get a redo. Okay, so that's our 3. So now it's Jim's turn. Jim's over here. I'm not 100% sure how to get through to this. So, interesting. Oh, the conceal card specifically says that you reveal it when you discover a clue there. Huh. Okay, so also I got a clue last time. I should have just done alchemical transmutation. Here we are learning the deck. That's fun. I could fight. I could fight a 5-4, which is not good. Which is just not good. I have an Arcane Initiate, so I can go 6-4, but I really don't like those odds. I'm trying to figure out. I do have a Sneak By, which gives me a +2 to evade it next turn. That's probably the best thing to do. I don't think I want to roll the dice on that. Can he fight with Azure Flame to reveal the concealed? Yes, but it's a 5-4, and it's like, never tell me the odds. Yeah, right. It's a 5-4, which I don't like. I don't like those. I have a +1 with Arcane Initiate if I want to commit Arcane, but 6-4, I don't love it. I was leaning towards the other resource, health, clue, and sanity tokens, but those sure do look clean on stream. Which one? Leaning towards the other resource. Oh, like the black ones. I really like the beige ones. I'm a big fan of the beige. We're running low on time here, but I'm thinking we build. Let's go ahead and exhaust transmutation. Spend a charge. We're testing 5-1. 0, so we succeed by 4. Maximum of 3, so we get 3 resources. Second action, we'll draw a card into the thing that follows, spawn at the location furthest away from me. Okay, well, now we have that to deal with. That's cool. And, excellent. Excellent. Oh, I can power word the thing that follows. That's kind of funny. Because he's not elite, so I can just tell him to run away and continuously just run away. I guess it is a action to use power word. Yeah. So we're going to draw another card. A Test of Will. Alrighty. They have some that are red, blue, and green, and translucent. Yeah, those look kind of cool. But I really like the beige. Just think that they look a little bit cleaner. Okay. So thing that follows is going to hunt here. We will gain a resource and draw a card. Jim has got a Ward of Protection, so we got 2 treachery cancels. Jack has got an Unexpected Courage. That's going to come in handy to get rid of this 4. Yeah. And then at the top of the round, we're going to place, or actually, let's unexhaust this guy. Top of the round, we're going to place 1 Doom. And Jack has got Knives in the Dark. Put Knives in the Dark in your threat area. There's no copy of it in your threat area. Otherwise, this card gains Surge. After you expose a decoy, take 2 damage. At the end of your turn, test feat 3. If you succeed, discard Knives in the Dark. That's a cool way to interact with that mechanic. I like that. Jim's ability is Peril. Choose spin a clue or take 2 damage. Man, Jim is dying quick. Jim is dying quick. I've drawn 3 of those. Jim just doesn't ever have any clues. Okay, so we have a better shot at evading. We're at a 5-4 or a 5-4. So actually we're fine. We have a Sneak By, so we can go 7-4. We have a Unexpected Courage. We can go 7-4 regardless. I like the -3 odds. I'm pretty happy with those. And because we have Dr. Christopher synergy as well as getting the clue, let's go ahead and investigate rather than invade. So let's go ahead and Unexpected Courage. We're going to go 5-4 plus 2 is 7. Come on, give me something. So 7-4, got a -1. We are good. So we get that clue. A couple of things happen here. We get the clue. We get a resource. Oops. Because it's Dr. Christopher. And we reveal this concealed card. Since it is not a decoy, Knives in the Dark does not trigger. The Red Glove Man triggers. And actually, what happens? Okay, so the effect replaces the standard effect of the action or ability that exposed it. No clues are discovered. No clues are discovered. Okay. That is very unintuitive with the wording of the conceal card. But this specifically says that if a mini card is disposed by discovering clues or investigating, no clues are discovered. Conceal card says that you can expose this card instead of damaging it, evading it, instead of discovering a clue at your location. Got it. Okay. I'm still happy with that. Okay. If it's an enemy's mini card, that enemy is now exposed. Place the matching enemy in the shadows at that mini card's location and set the mini card aside out of play. That enemy is no longer in the shadows and is no longer at the location where it's mini card. Yep, and there are no other enemies. Cool. Oh, wait. Then if there are no other enemies in the shadows, set all remaining concealed. So the concealed goes away. Okay. So Red Glove Man comes into play. Let's get him a sleeve. He has Retaliate. Does he have to engage Jack here? Or can he can he engage Jim? Do we get to choose? I think regardless, it would be nice for him to engage Jack, just because we have synergy here. We'll have him engage Jack. And then this advances. After much toil and pursuit, you finally catch up to the figure you've been chasing. A feeling of vindication washes over you as you spot the red gloves the man wears. It was no phantom you chased, but this one you have sought all of along. You corner him in a narrow alleyway, sheets of rain and fog masking your approach. Several more figures flank the man. A meeting, perhaps? To your surprise, he casts an expressionless glance in your direction. Then, as fast as a flash of lightning and gone just as swiftly, a formless shape ducks out of view. A chunk of nearby buildings goes along with it. Ooh, and when you turn to question your quarry about what happened, they have all fled east. You inch forward and examine the partially excised wall covered with ectoplasmic substance, like a negative of an undeveloped photo. Set the Red Glove Man aside out of play. Okay, well, there you go. Doesn't matter. Put the set-aside Tower Bridge and Tower of London locations into play. So Tower Bridge is connected to rainy London streets, and that's it. And the Tower of London is connected to the Tower Bridge, and that's it. Okay. Shuffle the set-aside Crimson Conspiracy and Outsider encounter sets into the encounter deck, along with the encounter card discard pile. Advance the agenda directly to Agenda 3A. Hopefully there's only 2 of these encounter sets, so I don't have to look it up. Yeah, okay. So all of these get shuffled. Now we have a normal size encounter deck. This now says that only if your gaze turns eastward in the direction you last saw the man heading over the Tower Bridge lies in the famed Tower of London, where even more eyes watch your approach. These belonging to a conspiracy of dark and brooding ravens. For what reason could he be heading here? Only investigators at the Tower of London may spin the requisite number of clues as a group to advance. We need 3 or 6 total. And we've got this going to the connection. It is now clear that Inspector Flint's hunches were correct. The man in the red gloves is is not operating alone, and whatever he is up to, it has something to do with the recent vanishings. You could wait to report what you've seen, but by then the man and his cohorts may have already put into motion whatever this scheme is planning. No, you only have one choice. You must find the man with the red gloves at all costs. We have 9. We've got 3 already here. So we've got a little bit of time. This bear is going to be annoying. Should kill him at some point. But that was Jack's first. Action. So let's go ahead and play Embezzled Treasure. We'll go ahead and spend 2. We'll drop 2 clues on Embezzled Treasure as a free action. And then we will move down here to Westminster Abbey. Parlay, choose a location and test Brain 1 to ask about the Abbey. For each point you succeed by, look at the revealed side of a concealed mini-card at the chosen location without exposing it. Group limit once per game. This is coming with 2 clues. At the end of my turn, I'm going to gain a resource because I am at least 1 away. And then we will test feat 3. We've got 5. Let's see what we got. Feat 3 to 5. -2. We discard Knives in the Dark. Happy with that. Jim's turn. Jim has to kill this thing that follows at some point. It would be nice to get these clues from Big Ben, but I mean that's some nasty shroud. I just don't know if I'm set up to do that, which is probably not a good thing, like thinking about like going forward in the campaign, that a Shroud of 4 kind of pretty much thwarts our attempt. But here we are. Also, the Tower of London is the main gate into the tower is locked and securely guarded. As an additional cost to enter the Tower of London, investigators at the tower bridge must spend 4 clues as a group to advance. So we need a lot of clues. I'm guessing we will have Jack come over to the tower bridge and try and figure out what he wants to do there. If we can, we'll probably avoid these. I think the 4 may be a trap. First action, let's move over. The thing that follows will engage. We will go ahead and attack with a Zero Flame. So this attack uses Brain instead of Fight, so we're attacking for 5 to 3. And we've got a -1, so we're good. It deals +1 damage, so that is going to be enough to kill. When the thing that follows would be defeated, shuffle him into the deck. I don't like this guy at all. This guy, this weakness could be pretty nasty. Okay, so that was 2 actions. And then for my third action, let's just go ahead and hop down to the Tower Bridge. Or should we go over to the Kingston Gardens? The gardens are kind of interesting because Jack's going to come over to the bridge. Let's go to the gardens. Okay, so this is the Shroud of 2. After you expose a decoy at Kingston Gardens, heal 1 horror. And then after you expose an enemy at it, you take 1 horror. This is a Shroud of 2 with 2 and 2 clues, and it's a victory point. So we'll definitely use our spend time getting these clues, because that victory point is going to be pretty sweet. Okay, no enemies, so refresh. Grab a money. So Jim's going to go up to enough money to bankroll pretty much anything. We got Storm of Spirits. So this succeeds. You deal 2 damage to each enemy at your location. So we got some good stuff there. Jim is sitting with 5 cards in his hand, so he's fine. Jack is going to go ahead and grab a money. Jack is also going to get another backstab. So we've got a lot of damage. We're ready to take on this Red Glove man. Pretty sure that's what it meant. Shuffle the card into the bottom of the deck. What do you mean? Sorry. It said shuffle it into its bearer's deck. Oh, okay. I was like, oh, did I miss something? Alrighty. Okay. Top of the round, we're going to place 4 out of 9. Encounter card goes to Jack. We've got a... I have no idea how to say that word. Paracasual? Yeah, paracasual entity. Hunter. When paracasual entity engages you, look at the top card of your deck. If it's not a weakness, set it aside out of play as a hollow. It is a weakness. Okay, it's good to know that this is a weakness. And it's going to be um, if your location can be investigated, you cannot move except by scenario card effects. And then investigate if you succeed. Instead of discovering clues, discard it. Okay, so that's actually a good time to draw this because we're at 1. So we'll probably just hang out at this location so that we can get rid of that weakness easily. And then Jim's encounter card is going to be a Coterie Agent C, concealed 2. So we're going to take 1 Coterie Agent C and another decoy. Where are my decoys? There they are. And shuffle these together. After Coterie enters the shadow, place 1 doom on it. I don't like that. When the agent is exposed, discard it. Okay, cool. So that's going to be our 5th doom. And then these need to go closest to... I mean, heck, let's go here. Because that's 2 away. That's 2 away. So we're good. Okay. Okay, so it's our turn. Let's go ahead and have Jack go ahead and deal with this entity. We can attack it. Oh, it only has 2 health. Yeah, so let's go ahead and attack using feet instead of fist. So we're going to 5 to 3. And if we succeed, we can deal 2 damage to it. So with that being said, I think resources are going to be fine. So let's go ahead and spend 2. Let's go 7 to 3 just to make sure. I know that there's a little bit worse things that happen if there's a conceal card now that we have the conceal card. So we got a skull. -3 if you have 2 or more clues. Don't have 2 or more clues. So that goes ahead and does that. The trusty bullwhip we can exhaust and either automatically evade it or deal +1 damage. We'll go ahead and just deal the +1 damage, which is enough to kill that. So that's 1. Let's go ahead and just search. Yeah, let's go ahead and investigate. So we'll go. We will investigate for the conceal card. So 5 to 1, 0. This is a decoy. We get a money. So those I think sneak by is probably going to be one of the first things that we cut from this deck because money is not an issue here. Speaking of, let's go ahead and just move 2 over to embezzled treasure. Now let's find a clue with that last action. So 5 to 1. Oh, auto fail. No good. Okay. Now it's Jim's turn. Jim is going to go ahead and let's have Jim Jim's investigate is not fantastic. Let's go ahead and have Jim Azure flame this guy. So we will spend a charge fight. We're using brain. So we got 5. We got a skull. Hey, we can treat it as 0. Let's go. Hey, Jim's ability coming in hot. We would have succeeded either way, but still I'm going to take it as a win. So we are good. So we reveal this. This is the Coterie agent. So we discard the Coterie agent. Am I saying that right? Coterie? I think so. And then the conceal card here, because there are no agents in the shadow, this does get discarded. I like the mechanic. I still think that I could see it getting frustrating, but I like the mechanic so far. So that was 1 action. Second action. Let's draw a card. Living Ink. And we're not going to play it. There's no reason to play Living Ink as a last action because you remove a charge from it at the start of your turn. So you could go ahead and play it at this like as your first action on another turn and just get the benefit for more time. Yusoki should be a great upgrade for a gym deck. I don't remember what that card does. It's an ally. Is it the blue? Is it the dual class ally? Seeker and something. Okay, I'll take a look at it. Cool, awesome. Okay, so that's 2. Is there anything bad? We don't have any of the hearts in here, so let's just go ahead and search. Yeah, let's just go ahead and search for 2. Oh wait, after you expose an enemy at here, we have to take a whore, so I forgot to take the whore. Okay. So searching for 3 to 2. -4, no good. Alrighty. Okay. So enemy phase, there's nothing. We will go ahead and unexhaust everything. Grab our money. Draw a card. Jim's got an unexpected courage. And Jack has got... Oh yeah, the buried secrets. We know that. So put this into play in your threat area. If your location can be investigated, you cannot move except by scenario card effects. Investigate after you. If you succeed, instead of discovering clues, discard this. If you fail, you can take 2 horror. Shuffle it into your deck. Cool. After they enter play, name a non-Elder Sign Chaos token with a symbol. Until this card leaves play, the name symbol is your sigil. When an investigator at your location reveals a cultist, tablet, or a squid symbol, exhaust the allies, search the chaos bag for your sigil, and reveal it instead of returning the other tokens to the chaos bag. He can treat these symbols as a skull. Oh, okay. Okay, so yeah, you don't say Elder Sign, and until the card leaves play, name a non-Elder Sign Chaos token with a symbol. So you say skull. When investigator at your location reveals a cultist, tablet, or squid symbol. Oh, okay. Yeah. So you name another one of them, which would probably be tablet, right? Because we have multiple yeah, whatever. And then instead, you can treat it as a skull, which triggers all of... That's okay. That's cool. I like that. Good call. What level is he? A level 3? Cool. We're gonna place a... No, Jim... Yep, Jim drew that. I'm gonna place a Doom. Yeah, he's kind of expensive. Okay. Jack's Revelation. If you have no clues, falsely gain Surge. If you have 1 or more clues... Okay, so this is to gain Surge. Gain Surge. Another false lead. Crypt Chill. Test Brain 4 if you fail. Choose to discard 1 asset you control. If you cannot, take 2 damage instead. So Brain 4. We are definitely going to not pass that. So Brain 4. -1. So we discard an asset that we control. I think that's going to be Dr. Christopher. No, I like the book. Discarding Embezzled Treasure feels bad. I don't know if it is. Maybe discarding the Trusty Bullwhip. Because we have backstabs in our hands, so we're going to toss the Bullwhip. We'll keep Christopher. Just because I want the extra book. And then Jim's got Conspiracy in red. Place 1 Doom on an enemy in the shadows. If there are no enemies in the shadows, search the encounter deck and discard pile for an enemy with the conceal keyword and draw it. Shuffle the encounter deck. Alrighty? So let's go ahead and find maybe Agent A. After he enters the shadows, place 1 Doom on it. When Cutter Agent is exposed, discard it. So we're going to be doing the same thing. Cutter Agent A gets a Doom. We got 2 decoys and Agent A. Shuffle these up, and we'll place them right there on the same locations as we did last time. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so there's a lot of things trying to slow us down here, right? Jack has the concealed. We need a total of 10 clues, which is going to be tough to get. Yeah, that's actually a big problem for us. We need 10 clues because we need 4 to get in and we need 6 to spin. We're at 0. Oh. Does the enemy in the shadows attack on the enemy phase or only an encounter card tells them to? I think it only if an encounter card tells them to. Enemies in the shadows are considered to be in play, but not in any particular location. They cannot move until they leave the shadows. They can qualify as the nearest enemy, but only if there are no other enemies in play. Enemies in the shadows cannot be damaged or leave play via player card effects. So no, they're not engaged or anything. Okay, so here we are. Actually, you know what? Instead of doing all of this concealed cards, we're gonna play Ward of Protection, a non-weakness treachery card, cancel that card to Revelation, then take 1 horror. So we'll rewind a little bit, but that's how you play the game. So let's go ahead and that's just gonna be way more efficient than everything else. Yeah, anytime. Concealed cards are no longer there. Okay, I'm happier with that because that gives us a little bit more time to do some stuff. Okay, Jack's turn. Let's go ahead and try and get buried secrets so we can investigate if you succeed instead of discovering clues. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're going 5 to 1. -4, we're good. Dr. Christopher does trigger. And we discard this. We don't get any clues. Ew. Yeah, I think we just sit here and take the clues at this point. Let's go ahead and just move 2. We don't need the money. So we're at 6. We have a maximum of 10 here, so at some point we will just be accumulating money. So let's just go ahead and investigate. So we'll go 5 to 4 again. A tablet. -1. If there's a concealed card, there's not. So we're good. We got a clue and a resource. And we will go one more time. A skull. -1 because we do not have that many clues. So we go here and another resource. All the money. We're gonna have to get some more expensive cards for Jack. Okay. So that's Jack. Jim's turn. I keep calling him Jack. That is his last name, but we're gonna call him Pepper Jack Culvers. Let's investigate 3 to 2 with an unexpected courage. We'll commit an unexpected courage, so it's 5 to 2. 0. So we're good there. We get a clue. You know what? Actually, what we're gonna do is we're now gonna spend our 2 actions to come over here. We're gonna let. No, we'll still stay here and try and get this clue with Jim. I don't have anything to commit. I have a power word to commit, but I really feel like that's not the right way to utilize that. Let's go 3 to 1 or 3 to 2. Come on, give me something good. Skull -1. Let's go. Okay, sweet. So that triggers. That's going to give us 1 victory point. So we are up to 1 whole victory point. Team. So that's 2. And third action, I guess we'll just move. Nothing else to do really. Enemy phase, there's nothing that we got. So let's go ahead and unexhaust everything, grab some resources and some cards. Jim has way more money than I was expecting. Alchemical Transmutation is a really good card. Jim's got another Alchemical Transmutation. Alrighty, that's going to be probably committed. And then we've got Jack for a Perception. That's going to be nice. The Perception is going to be nice. Okay. Top of the round, we'll add 1 here. We're at 6 out of 9, so we're getting close to our threshold there. And then Jack's got a Substance Dissimulation. For each set aside hollow you own, if there are one or more copies of that hollow in play area and or hand, discard those copies and take 1 damage and 1 horror. If no cards are discarded by this effect, choose a non-weakness card you control in your hand or play area and set it aside out of play as a hollow. Let's go emergency cash. So emergency cash is our hollow. We're gonna just turn these upside down just so we don't get them confused with anything else in our play area. Jim's card is Hunting Shadow. Spend a clue or take 2 damage. We're gonna spend the clue. We can't take the damage right now. We're at 3 health, so we're gonna have to spend the clue. We're gonna have to figure out how to get more clues later. I assume, well, I guess the Tower of London will have clues. Never mind. So we don't have to get all the clues out here before we go to the Tower of London. We just need 4 clues, which we have 3. So let's go ahead and let's have Jack go. We're going to go 1, 2. Maybe there's another way in. Test Brain or Book 5. If you succeed, put the set aside Trader's Gate location into play. Interesting. Okay. So this comes in with 2 clues. Shroud of 2. Brain or Book 5. That's something that Jim could do. And I assume that's another way into the Tower of London, which would conserve our clues, which I think is probably worth our while. We got one more action. Brain or Book 5. We're at 5. We could go 7. We go 7 to 5. I'd rather use the Brain. There's a couple of cards over here that I could pitch and be okay with. Yeah. Okay. So let's investigate. Let's go ahead and straight up investigate for a 5 to a 3. Or 5 to a 2. Hey, star. +1. If you started this turn 1 or more locations away, gain 1 resource or draw 1 card. Okay, so we successfully investigate. We got the +1. We get a resource. We're going to draw a card, even though it's probably not the right thing to do. Just because we're going to draw into a weak. We got our weakness here. Okay, let's draw a card. We got a flashlight. Okay. Then at the end of our turn, we did start 2 away, so we get a resource and a card draw, which is thinking on your feet. Fast when an enemy would spawn at your location. Immediately move to a connecting location. Quick action to drop 2 resources over here. And somebody's going to start with a lot of money next turn. You should not do either test. Just ask the tour guide. Is that how that works over here? The local knows. The local knows. Nice. Okay, so Jim is going to spend an action to hop down to the tower bridge. Jim is going to test Brain 5. We're going to go 6. Sorry. 7. So we're going to go 7 to 5. I got nothing I can commit over here. So 7 to 5. No whammies, no whammies, no whammies, no whammies. Stop. -1. We are good. So we put the set aside Trader's Gate into play. So Trader's Gate is connected to the Tower of London. I'm running out of room. We're going to just shift everything. Okay. That's all still on screen. We are good. So the Trader's Gate is connected to these 2. 1, 2. Alrighty. So that is 2 actions. Move, test. Jim is going to hop up to the Trader's Gate. Test feet or fist 5. If you succeed, reveal the Tower of London. If you fail, take 1 damage. That has 2 clues on it. But we do have 4 clues. If we can grab this clue here, then we have enough to go ahead and get through the eyes of the tower, or to spend it. So I think we'll definitely do that. Okay. So enemy phase, we don't have any enemies on the table. I'm excited for my holder to come in because it's gonna look much nicer. So we will go ahead and get a resource. We got too many resources, team. And we will draw a card. We've got another Arcane Initiate, and Jack has got a Nimble. Top of the round, we're gonna place a Doom. Jack's card is a locked door attached to the location with the most clues. That's going to be out here. And then Jim is Obscuring Fog attached to your location. It gets +2 Shroud. After the attached location is successfully investigated, discard Obscuring Fog. So this is at a 6 Shroud. We'll probably never investigate that. I'm assuming Tower of London's going to have clues here. So, okay, let's have Jack go first so that he can try and feed his way in there. So we're going to go 1. And let's try feats. Actually, let's move tokens over here. So we're Embezzled Treasure is fine. So next turn, our next game, someone's going to be able to start with 10 money, which is going to be insane. Okay, so we're going to test feat 5. We've got... Six for Nimble. I want to go at least one more, which is going to be, let's do Backstab. So 7 total for feet. And we've got -1, so we are good. So we are successful. So we reveal this, and we're successful by 1, so I can move. So we'll move down, I guess. We'll lose 2 resources. Oh no. Okay. So we're good there. That was 1 test. Move was the free for Nimble. This comes in with 2 clues. I also did order more clue tokens, so we're not going to run out as frequently as we do. So we got 1 more. We can investigate. It's funny, we ended up 1 away, even though we moved twice. We ended up 1 location away, so we don't get both of them, which is fine. Let's go ahead and investigate 3 to 2. We're at 5. Let's perception this thing. No, let's not. We're at 5 to 3. We've got some time. Let's just go straight up 5 to 3. 5 to 3. We've got a -1. We are good. That gives us a resource from Dr. Christopher and a clue. Boom. So we're at 4. Oh, we need 1 more, I guess. So after you end your turn at Tower of London, lose 2 resources. Is this paying the tour guys, Maddie? What's the theming behind losing my resources? Is it just... Okay, so Jim's turn. Not 100% sure what we're doing here. Not worth going over here to Big Ben. I guess we'll come down to the Tower of London. We don't have our lone wolves on the table, so there's not really any reason to be away. Actually, Jack's getting a resource because he ended 1 away. Need to remember that ability. So there's not really a reason to not be at a different spot. We also have a test of will, which is when an investigator, not necessarily just Jim. So we do have a way to cancel that revelation effect. I guess we can alchemical transmutation. We're testing 3 to 3. I guess we do have a perception, so we could go 5 to 3. We can go 5 to 3. Let's try that. So Jim is gonna investigate. He's got a 3. Perception bumps it up to a 5. Perception is played by Jack. Alrighty, let's go. So 5 to 3. No whammies, no whammies, no whammies. Oh, it's a 0. We would have been fine even if we didn't commit perception. Oops. So that's good. Perception is triggered, so we get to draw into another Nimble. We get the clue. Let's go ahead and spin the 6 clues to advance. We got one more action, by the way. Quietly and cautiously, you follow the figures from a distance. With measured haste, he darts to and fro inside the ominous tower, searching for something. Finally, while you watch from the shadows, the man with the red gloves finds what he's looking for, a loose brick along one of the candlelit hall's many columns. He casually rotates the stone back into place with a kind of nonchalance as if he was dealing with a piece of misplaced laundry. To your surprise, a section of the nearby wall rotates in turn, revealing a secret passageway. He ascends into the darkness and you follow in secret. Put aside the set-aside Tower Prison location into play. Attach the set-aside Eye of the Raven's key to the Tower Prison, not controlled by anyone. So the Tower Prison is connected here. Doubly connected. Then the tower key I don't necessarily know. We're going to put it in as the stable. I think will tell us when we take care of it. Move all concealed mini cards in play to the Tower Prison. No concealed mini cards. Draw the set aside Red Glove Man enemy and resolve his conceal keyword, putting all of those concealed mini cards into play at the tower. Okay. So concealed 1, 2, 3, because it's 1 per investigator. Red Glove Man is going to hang out at the Tower Prison as well. He's going to be in the shadows. Have you seen the secret passageway, Maddie? I don't know why I'm shuffling. Caught red-handed. Somewhere in these forgotten crypts, the man with the red gloves searching for something, but for what purpose? The red gloved man gains parlay. Test brain or book 5 to interrogate. The red gloved man, if you succeed, place 1 resource on him. Stop the red gloved man from stealing the Eye of the Ravens. If he's defeated, or if there's 1 per investigator resources on him, advance. We will probably try and defeat this guy. Also, this says when a concealed mini card would interplay anywhere other than the Tower Prison, put it into play at the Tower Prison instead. Cool. So this is why I'm really excited for those action trackers. We investigated. So I think what we'll do is we'll hop over to the conceal, because I guess he could loot. We got the action, so let's go. So we will go here. While an investigator at Tower Prison is performing a skill test, spin 1 clue. That investigator gets +2 skill value for this test. When a concealed minicard would interplay anywhere, put it into play at the prison instead. This comes in with 4 clues. It has a Victory 1 keyword. And it's a Shroud of 4, which is not great. Huh. Shroud of 4 kind of stinks. Okay. Oh yeah, Jim's over here. So no enemies in play that do anything. So we will unexhaust and get all of our resources. Drawing our cards. Jim has got a Clairvoyance. Clairvoyance actually may be worth throwing onto the table, because it's our investigate, and we can investigate with brain, so we'd be investigating with 5. And if we can get a clue, which would be great, then we can start using those clues to either get more clues or try and find these concealed cards. Okay, cool. And then Jack is going to get a manual dexterity, which does help us with the evade to get a concealed card out of the way. Cool. Okay, we got 8 here, so we're good. Jack is going to get a Corey Agent. After Corey Agent enters the shadows, place 1 Doom on it. Conceal 2. That's not a great time to pull it, because all of the cards go to here, so we have to figure out. There's just more enemies. And he comes in with the Doom. We've already checked to see if the Doom advances, so it actually doesn't, so that's fine. And then we'll just shuffle all of these cards. I assume you are. So you don't just like put them on top. You don't necessarily just, no. I'm going to shuffle. That feels more thematic. So the agent doesn't really care if we find them because we are progressing, which will wipe the Doom regardless. I think there are some encounter cards that are going to add more Doom, but here we are. Jim's card is going to be another agent. Are you kidding me? Ah, ouch. That stinks. Okay, so we have to get pretty lucky here. Oh, these are conceal 2. So I need to add 1. Ugh, there's a lot of conceal cards here, y'all. Yeah, so this is going to be rough. This is going to be very, very rough. We just have to get really lucky. Because we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 cards. Yeah, so 3 apiece. 9 cards. And we have to hit one of those cards. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. Oh, we have a flashlight, which does decrease the shroud. So sweet. Let's go Jack to play a flashlight. That will help us investigate a little bit. I think the goal here is to go with to try and get the clues, because then the clues can help steam or snowball us into getting those concealed cards. Yeah. Okay, let's spend our second action to come over here. Third action to investigate with a flashlight. So we're testing 5 to 2. We're going to go with the clue. -3, so we are good. So that's good. So we get a resource and we grab a clue. At the end of the turn, we ended one away, so we'll grab another resource. The reason, yeah, once we draw into that second weakness, I'll be starting to draw cards. So while investigator tower, it's performing this, spin 1 clue. Okay, so it has to be the investigator performing the test to spin the clue. Okay, now it's Jim's turn. Let's go ahead and overplay alchemical transmutation with a clairvoyance, spending 4 resources. This comes in with 3 charges. Let's go ahead and spend 1 of the charge to investigate using brain instead of book. If you succeed, discover 1 additional clue here. So we are testing 5 to 4. Let's go ahead and commit Arcane Initiate. So we're going 6 to 4. I don't have anything from anyone else to commit. You know what? Let's go ahead and commit Power Word to go 7 to 4. Just, yeah, 7 to 4. Got a skull, which is a 0. Haha! Jim, coming in hot. Let's go. We would have passed regardless, but that's fine. So we took 2 clues. So that's our second. The flashlight is going to be able to get that last clue for free. And so let's do... Makes trumpet sounds, yeah. Do. Nice. We will play Living Ink. So Living Ink right now is just the upgrade, so we get +1 to our brain. We probably should have done that first, but here we are. Still learning how to play this deck. So that was 1, 2. Let's go ahead and search using clairvoyance. We're going for a concealed card at this point. So now we are investigating with a 6 brain to 4. And we've got a 0, so we're good. We're just going to take the top conceal card. It's a decoy. All right. Making our way down. Okay. Jack's already taken his turn. So enemy phase, there's nobody. So let's go ahead and get money. And draw a card. Jim's got a Holy Rosary. That's nice. Big fan of that. And Jack has got a Lone Wolf. We're probably not going to play that just because I think we're going to be spending the rest of the game at this location where both of us are. So we're good. Top of the round. Add a Doom. Check. We do wipe all the Doom in play. And we're going to progress. As the night grows deeper and the rain becomes a torrent, you flinch at every moving shadow, every sound, every shape. You wonder if perhaps this investigation is getting the best of you, or maybe there are more of them than you thought watching you, lying in wait for the perfect opportunity to strike. The lead investigator must decide: search the encounter deck and discard pile for a Coterie agent and draw it, shuffle the encounter deck, or each investigator takes 1 damage and 1 horror. We're going to each investigator take 1 damage and 1 horror. 1 damage. 1 horror. 1 horror. Do we kill off Granny here? I hate the idea of that, but also Jim just does not have a lot of health. We'll take 1 more damage. Okay. Plots and panic. Deep fog blots out the moonlight, bathing the city in utter darkness. From the rooftops, ravens watch you progress with inhuman intelligence. Every moving shadow sets your mind racing. If you don't find the man with the red gloves and stop his plans, who knows what he will do next? At 7. Okay. Jack's card is going to be a conspiracy in red. Place 1 doom on an enemy in the shadows. If there are no enemies in the shadows, search the encounter deck and discard pile for an enemy with a concealed keyword and draw it. Okay. So, is the strategy to place it on the agent? I think it is. I think if we find the red glove man, you know what? Actually, I may just throw it on the red glove man because once we find the agent, he clears. Yeah, we'll place it on the red glove man. No, we'll place. We'll place it on the red glove man, because if we find the red glove man, ideally we can kill him. No, we're gonna place it on the agent because the red glove man doesn't. If he comes in and engages us, we still have the doom, and we have the option to just clear out the agent. Okay, Jim. Seeking shadows. Put seeing shadows in your threat area. After you fail a skill test while at a location with a concealed minicard, take 1 horror. That's probably fine. We've got a lot of horror that we can soak. Okay. So let's go with Jack. We're going to spend a flashlight to go ahead and investigate at a 5 to 2. 5 to 2. We're going to go ahead and just grab this last clue. 5 to 2, drawing a -1, reveal another. And a 0. Sweet. Happy with that. So we get the last clue. And we get a money. Because of Dr. Christopher. Okay. So now we're all out going for conceal cards. So with that being said, this table's getting busy. With that being said, let's go ahead and just use the flashlight. We will investigate for the concealed card. We're gonna go 5 to 2. -2. We're good. Top concealed card is Coterie Agent B. Haha, which is the one with the clue. Nice. Just randomly picked one. Or not the clue, the doom. Sweet. Nice. Alrighty. So that was 1, 2. So we still have 1 more to go. I think at this point it's probably easier for us to evade because we have so many cards in our deck that can evade for us or help us with evade. So let's go ahead and go 5 to 4. No, we'll use manual dexterity to go 7 to 4. We got a -2, so we are good. So test is successful. Draw a card into field work. Again, not going to be using that. Draw the top conceal card, which is a decoy. Alrighty. And that's my 3. We got Jim over here. Jim is going to spend 2 to drop a Holy Rosary. Now, we'll go ahead and Clairvoyance. So we will spend a charge, investigate, using... Actually, I think I took... I should have taken a horror last time. Because I revealed a skull, which gets treated as a 0, so Jim takes a horror. That kind of is not great for these two, now that I'm looking at it, but here we are. Actually, we'll just drop the horror on Granny. Okay. So Clairvoyance, we're investigating using our brain, which is going to be 6 to 4. And we will... Yeah. Got 6 to 4. Actually, 7 to 4 because of living ink. So 7 to 4. -4. No! Bad. After you fail a skill test at a location with a concealed mini card, take a horror. Ouch. That hurts. That hurts. Okay. So now let's shoot. I'm thinking we're gonna have to fight the Red Glove Man. So I want the Azure Flame because Red Glove Man has 4 health. So the Azure Flame is going to help us with that. So second action, we will draw a card, which is Guts. Third action, actually, we're going to call this as a... Guts was going to be our final draw. I'm actually just going to spend 2 actions to discard this. I should have... No, I shouldn't. I don't know. Okay. 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 So that was the actions. No enemies. So Jim's already drawn a card. So he gets a resource. Jack is going to draw a card into Eureka and get a resource. Top of the round, we're going to add a Doom. Jack is going to draw a card. After you fail a skill test while at a location with a concealed minicard, take 1 horror. We got a lot of horror soak here. We are okay with that. Put Knives in the Dark into play in your threat area. After you expose a decoy, take 2 damage. We will go ahead and a test of will this. So we're going to spend 1. When investigator at your location draws a non-weakness treachery card. It's non-weakness. Test brain 3. So we are at 7 to 3. If you succeed, cancel the card's revelation effect. -1, we're good. So we don't put that in play. Whew, close. Okay. Okay, here we are. Let's have Jack. Jack's going to go first because if we can reveal the Red Glove Man, Jim is our damage dealer. So let's have Jack go ahead and go first. We've got... We're going to 4. Let's go 5. Let's evade to get +2. So we're at 7. 7 to 4. Seven to 4. Tablet is -1. Reveal another 1. 0. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, so we're good. So we got Conceal card, which is a decoy. If you fail a skill test, we're good. So we're going to do that same thing, 7 to 4. Spinning that clue. Come on, 7 to 4. -1, we're good. Conceal a card. The Red Glove Man. Let's go. Okay, so he comes into play. We're just going to say that he engages me because he has a 5 attack. Jeez, I did not realize that. Ah. Okay. Okay. So we have the option to parlay with him. So we test Brain or Book 5 to interrogate the Red Glove Man. If we place 2 resources on him, then we do get to progress. Or if we defeat him, we get to progress. It would be nice to go ahead and defeat him. It would be really cool to be able to kill him. Yeah, it would just be great to kill him to get the victory point. And I feel like he's been pretty shifty already. The Red Gloves of Murder. Okay. So what does that look like? We could have. Oh wait. Oh, we have backstab here too. So we could deal 2 damage. This is spin 1 clue. So Jim could spin clues to actually do this. So let's do this. Let's go backstab. We're gonna fight the Red Glove Man. We're using feet instead of fist, and it deals +2 damage. Backstab's a crazy card. So we got 3 money. So we're fighting with feet. We're going to 5. We have 5. Let's go 6, 7, 8. 8 to 5, 9. No. 9. 9 to 5. Come on, no whammies, no whammies, no whammies. +1, let's go. So 3 damage. Eureka triggers, so we get to look at the top 3 and draw 1. So we got Scout ahead. Unexpected Courage. We're going to take Unexpected Courage. I think we shuffle. Yeah. Check Unexpected Courage so that Jim over here can hit him with his trumpet. Okay, so that was 3. So Jim's turn, we're going to remove 1 from Living Ink. We're going to spend our first action to engage the Red Glove Man. We're going to attack. We're going to use Azure Flame. So we're using Brain. We're going to spend a clue to get +2. So right now we are at 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 to 5. Let's go ahead and Guts to go 11 to 5. Deals +1 damage. Auto fail. No. Okay, we'll take a damage here. Oh no. We'll go 1 here. Okay. Okay, that's fine. We'll Azure Flame. We'll do 1 clue. We'll do Unexpected Courage, so it's 11 to 5 again. Not the autofill, not the autofill, not the autofill. Tablet, so -1, reveal another. 0, we're good. Okay, so that deals enough damage to kill the Red Glove Man. We progress. If you defeated the Red Glove Man, the figure reels backwards, grasping his wound. Something small clatters to the ground. The man says nothing, only glares at you from the darkness. His gloves seem to ripple around his hands like a disturbed face of a crimson pool, and after a moment he straightens himself, then bending into the shadows, he tips his hat and is gone. Add the Red Glove Man to the victory display. Resolution 1. Resolution 1. You search for the man with the red gloves through every possible hiding place and down every shadow corridor. But he is well and truly gone. It's as if he vanished into thin air. Actually, we're at 3 victory points, right? Let me do that real quick. We got 1, 2, red glove is 3. Okay. You wonder for a moment if he's somehow erased from existence like the other disappearances, but you don't believe so. There's no mark, no ectoplasmic remains. He simply was there and then he was not. You give up searching for him and instead examine the object that clattered to the ground during your scuffle. It's a small ruby marble, no larger than an eye. Indeed, you investigate the crypt, and the man was rummaging through and find that the marble size matches the eye sockets of the long deceased corpse inside. They must have been buried with it, meaning perhaps the marble is what the man in the red glove was sought all along, but why? Investigating further, you find neither name or epitaph identifying the corpse buried there, with only the following lines appear to be poetry chiseled into the lid of the body's coffin. With red we are bound, through red we are one. Thus in red do we bury our kin and our kin. May you rest until are needed once more. Before you have time to consider what this might mean, you hear the telltale rumblings of the secret passageway shifting upstairs once more and the pounding of heavy footsteps down a stairwell. You arm yourself and prepare to fight. To your surprise, it's Inspector Flint who greets you, held at gunpoint by a woman dressed in a black suit, white brimmed hat, and matching black trousers. She has ebony dark skin, cold eyes underscored by heavy bags, and short curly hair. Two other suits flank her, both of whom say nothing and stand like statues as she enters the crypt. She flashes an unidentified silver badge and motions for you to stay put. Where did the man with the red gloves go? She asks. And who are you? Can I put my hands down? Inspector Flint says. Each investigator earns victory or experience equal to victory points. X, so we get 3 experience. Nice. Choose an investigator to be the bearer of the Eye of Ravens and update the campaign log accordingly. From now on, whenever a character becomes the bearer of a key, keep that key handy for the rest of the campaign, as it will begin to get attached to that character. So the Eye of Ravens. Shift. During a skill test at your location, the performing investigator sets their base skill value to this test for 6 and flip this to its unstable side. To shift it back, draw the top card of the encounter deck. Then if an investigator shifted this key, flip it to its stable side. I think I kind of like Jim having this, because he doesn't have the base stat of 5, whereas Jack does, and then he has 4 cancels in his deck. So in order to shift it back, we could easily cancel that. So we're gonna get Jim the Eye of the Raven. In your campaign log, record that you haven't seen the last of the Red Glove Man. Mark 1 time in your campaign log and proceed to interlude the Foundation. I guess we'll read the interlude now. Oh my gosh. Okay, we'll read the interlude now. Just because sometimes the interlude gives you something and I want to have that in mind, thinking about upgrades and everything. The Foundation. Talk, the woman commands. I'm a detective with the ICPC, Flint barks back. Lee Flint. And you're going to be in a lot of trouble when they hear about this. I assure you I will not. And you, she asks, glaring in your direction. You explain that you are an independent investigator working with Flint. She takes a moment to read your gaze, presumably to tell if you are lying. She, like Flint, seems low on trust. Finally, after a long, bated moment, she holsters her firearm. Flint's hand drops to his sides. You let out a breath you didn't know you were holding. We have been after that Red Glove Man for quite some time. This is the first time we've gotten this close. He seems to have a knack for slipping away. She nods to the 2 suits flanking her, a tall, athletic, pale-skinned woman and a sharp, clean-shaven man, and motions towards the wall. They keep a hand on the holsters as they score the perimeter of the room. And who is we exactly? Inspector Flint asks. You've been wondering the very same thing. Your interrogator has a British accent, but she doesn't seem to be a part of any local outfit you've ever heard of. She waits for confirmation from the 2 subordinates before continuing. All clear, ma'am, the man states, and sighs and crosses her arms. All right, what I'm about to tell you cannot leave this room under any circumstances. Am I clear? Flint shrugs. Under penalty of what exactly? Summary execution. Oh, geez, okay. She states without hesitation. Your clothes is tight. Even your partner flinches for a moment. Well then, I suppose we don't have much of a choice, do we? He glances at you. You nod. You might as well hear what she has to say. I am Commissioner Taylor, and these are Agents Hudson and Jova. We are with Foundation, an international agency devoted to the discovery, research, and contamination of objects with paradimensional capability. What kind of baloney? Flint practically laughs, but the woman who calls herself Taylor shows no sign of humor. After the Great War, many treaties and accords were signed, Paris, Versailles, but we keep this peace wasn't the only goal. There were oddities, you see. During the war, things that did not add up. The Foundation's purpose is to find these things that don't add up and ensure that they cannot be used for such purposes ever again. Whew, a lot of reading. Well, this is a hell of a con you buffoons have cooked up, Flint says, but the darker tone in his voice indicates that he doesn't believe himself, and you're inclined to agree. The fact that Commissioner Taylor even knows of the Red Glove Man at all is proof that she has inside knowledge. You decide that is more likely she is telling the truth than lying, and ask what she intends to do with you. She paces in an uncomfortable silence, before finally letting out a sigh. Well, I certainly can't have your investigators running parallel to my own, and you might have information that could be pertinent to our work, so I say we work together. Work together or work for you? Flint asks pointedly as his eyes narrowing. She allows herself a smile. You are a clever man, I'll give you that. She nods to Agent Hudson, who produces several badges and hands them to you. You'll be your own cell of the Foundation, operating under our authority, but with independence. All you need to do is agree to report your findings to us. She looks at Flint appraisingly. You will be our point of contact. You ask Taylor what you get out of the arrangement besides the lifted threats on our lives. We'll hand over the intel we have on the organization of the Red Glove Man works for and provide travel papers that you can get anywhere in the world, no questions asked, no expense. That's kind of nice. Flint eyes the badge like one might an explosive, turning it over in his hands. 2 minutes ago, you were pointing a gun at me. Now you're offering me a job? Yes? Well, are you in? You pull Flint aside and speak with him in private. The discussion is short and hushed, full of conjecture and paranoid theories about this Foundation and their true motives, but in the end you decide to accept her offer. It will help you get to the bottom of whatever is going on. It is the only real choice. Very well then, Taylor explains. The Red Glove Man is just one operative of the organization, or perhaps its leader. That we are unable to determine. They call themselves the Red Coterie, or so named due to the red garments they wear. They are the artifacts scattered around the world which possess paradimensional capabilities, the very same kind of object we seek and find. We call them keys. You ask Commissioner Taylor what she means by the term paradimensional. Imagine a cake with many layers, she explains. Everything we see and feel exists on one layer, but there are many more layers above and below ours. Something that is paradimensional exists on one layer, but draws energy from another parallel layer. As a result, these keys operate outside the laws of our dimension. Cause and effect. If I left unchecked, they can be used to inflict terrible harm on our world. Our job, your new job, is to get them out of the hands of the coterie and help keep them secure in Foundation custody. If these keys are as powerful as the Foundation believes, you agree that they should be kept in safe hands, but you can't help but to wonder what this has to do with the disappearances you've been investigating, if anything. Flint locks his eyes with you and gives you the slightest shake of his head. He has no intention of telling them. We should tell Taylor about the disappearances or do not tell Taylor about the disappearances. We get to choose here. Let's go ahead and tell her. We've already talked that we're going to tell her. So let's tell her. You decided it's best to tell Commissioner Taylor why you were looking into the Red Glove Man to begin with. Flint lets out an audible sigh. She mulls it over for a few moments, then shakes her head. That's something to look into, but your primary objective is to acquire the keys and the coterie is searching for at all costs. Am I understood? Taylor further explains that she will afford any relevant information to Flint's office, with some sensitive details omitted, of course, but she'll also provide the ICPC with the requisite number of papers regarding Flint's new, quote, position. Oh, and Agent Flint, she said on her way out, addressing him by his new title. Your cell may have the independence to act on their own accord, but do not forget that you report directly to me. I expect you do so without reservation should you discover of anything of importance. He nods, only the slightest hint of resistance giving him away. Remove one heart token and add one tablet token. If there are already 4, each investigator earns 1 experience instead. So I assume we add a tablet, but we don't. I assume we're still adding the tablet. We don't have a heart to remove, so we'll add a tablet. In your campaign log, record the cell told the truth to Taylor. Skip to Foundation 4. Whew. Okay, Foundation 4. The next morning, your, quote, cell meets at the tea room to transfer squares where you had originally intended to meet the previous night. Together, you go over the documentation provided to Flint by this, quote, foundation. It's all a bit difficult to believe, if I'm being honest, Flint says, but everything checks out. The travel papers, the job transfer, all of it. Not even my boss questioned it for a moment. So I guess we're secret agents now, huh? You agree, unbelievable as it might seem, is no less strange than the matters you had already been looking into. Right. Well, I think the best thing to do is to split up. Shanghai is where I grew up. I'll have connections there I can leverage, so I'll head there first. Where you want to investigate up next is up to you. Meet up with me later so we can figure out where to go from there. The Foundation has several leads concerning the whereabouts of the Red Coterie. One is likely to be in the home of Shanghai, in Alexandria, Buenos Aires, Nairobi, Anchorage, Istanbul, Kathmandu, Marrakesh, Havana. Read the rules for embarking and travel and the Foundation dossiers on the next column. Then, when you are ready to proceed, embark from London on a new adventure. I will read that outside of here, and then we will we'll pick up embarking on our new adventure at the start of our next stream. Next stream is going to be next Friday at 10 a.m. Same time, same place. For Arkham, the next actual stream is going to be Monday. I think we're going to be doing Marvel Champions. I haven't quite figured out what we're doing yet. I think that we will be doing more Wolverine and Strange games, maybe a Zola and a Ronin. We'll see. And then we got Lord of the Rings Progression next Wednesday. And also we have a special stream next week, next Monday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to be, Roberto from Sheer Boredom and I are going to be streaming Forges of Ravenshire. So if you follow the board game channel that I run, this was this was my top game from PAX Unplugged, and I have a preview copy, and so Roberto also has one. So we're going to be doing a live stream of that game on Monday evening. So I'm really excited for that. It's a dice placement, resource management type game where you are gathering resources and running your forge in order to build weapons and armor. But the way that the game works is really, really smooth, and so I'm very excited to try to play that one on stream. So a lot of stuff coming up. Join the Discord. All of the links and everything will be there, as well as the YouTube. But thank you all so very much for hanging out. That was a really fun scenario. I enjoyed the conceal mechanic. I think we probably had time, even if it was the bottom card, to figure out how to get there. It probably would have gotten a little bit more difficult because we spent pretty much everything we had. So, but here we are. Yeah, so cool. It was a really cool scenario. I enjoyed it a lot. Thank you all so very much for hanging out. I appreciate you all, and I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Happy Friday, everyone. See you around. Peace.